Kevin and Bean Show. KROQ.
The critically acclaimed creator of The Shield. Also, Lie to Me, Sean Ryan is back with a new show that debuts tonight on the Fox network. It is called The Chicago Code. Jennifer Beals is one of the stars of the show, and she joins us now on the Kevin and Bean Show. Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
Good, thank you. Good morning.
I want to start by saying, as a lifelong Chicagoan, I know you must be very depressed today to see the Green Bay Packers winning their Super Bowl yesterday. That must really hurt you deeply.
You know, I was rooting for the Packers, to be honest.
What? As a Bears fan? How can you do that?
Well, because you want to believe. Well, can I tell you the?
Did they knock the Bears out?
I can't tell you the real reason, but
wait, you can't say the real reason.
It has something to do with Pittsburgh's quarterback.
Oh, hey, look, there were a lot of people that were rooting against Rapey. I know where you're coming from.
Okay, and I bet a lot of them were women.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he's known as, but all right.
He's known as Rapey. Everybody knows that.
Okay, I gotcha.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But I just,
I got you.
Now, first
and also,
of all,
I want to believe that whatever team defeated the Bears must be so excellent that they would go on to win the Super Bowl.
That always does make you feel a little bit better if they don't just fizzle out the game after they beat you. It really does.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about the Chicago Code. I think that Fox should have put that on after the Super Bowl last night to give you the biggest launch of all time instead of a super crappy episode of Glee. I wish that had happened, but at least they promoted it a lot, so a lot of people know that it does debut tonight at 9 o'clock on the Fox channel. And this is unlike any of the other cop shows that are on the air, right?
So I've been told.
It seems like it would be a difficult task to take on the cop genre, and kind of not repeat any other show because there's always a cop drama on.
Right. I see. The truth is, I have to give full disclosure. I'm not a big TV watcher, so I'm the least capable of analyzing the differences between the shows. But I will say that our cop drama has a female superintendent taking on corruption on different levels in the city. Not only is she taking on crime in the street, she's taking on corruption in City Hall, and she's taking on corruption within her own department. So you're working on all kinds of levels. I don't know how that compares to other cop dramas. Maybe somebody else could tell.
Well, for instance, I mean, we mentioned, the creator Sean Ryan, who also did The Shield. I mean, that was kind of showing you the perspective of the bad guys. This show is showing you the perspective of the good guys, is one change from that show anyway. But I was really surprised to see how much it looked like how deeply embedded you actually are with Chicago police officers. I mean, with ride-alongs, and it looks like they gave you really extensive cooperation when you were making this show. Is that a fact?
Amazing. They were amazing.
And that surprised me so much, since the plot line is about corruption in Chicago. I would think that's the type of thing they'd want to stay as far away from as possible.
Well, but everybody, I mean, the police that we worked with know that, well, at least let me just go back. The people that I worked with were amazing. The police officers that I worked with were so hardworking, so dedicated. Their job is horrifically difficult. I wouldn't last for 30 seconds in that job. and you realize that there are a handful of officers who are making life horrible for the rest of the officers. Those people who are corrupt need to go, because it makes it harder for everybody else to do their job, because there's no respect for them on the street.
Yeah. You've been an actress for 30 years now. How do you rank this in terms of the difficulty of assignments that you've pulled in all that time?
God, you know what? I think it's one of the most difficult for me, because I have no experience at all with
being the superintendent of police.
Yeah, none.
Really? None?
No, that sounded so crazy.
That never happened, not even once before?
I know. Maybe not in one lifetime that I've had have I ever been superintendent. A dancer, yes. A welder, yes.
Sure.
Maybe gay in some lifetime.
Sure.
But no superintendent.
Now, you have a bad guy in Delroy Lindo, and I've seen him in so many shows, and yet I didn't know his name, and so I went to, I was watching to find out who he is, because he's such a great bad guy. And he's the kind of bad guy who just smiles and looks you in the face and shakes your hand while he's stabbing you in the back. I think that's probably the best part of the show, but I don't understand what an alderman is. He's an alderman.
Well, Chicago is divided up into wards, and the alderman represents a ward. And this is one of the reasons why people in Chicago are so connected to what's going on politically in the city, why they're so involved, because they have such access to the people who represent them. And so he plays an alderman who is corrupt, and yes, he does some good things, and he is smiling, but, the devil never comes with his horns and a tail. He comes in, the finest suits and with the finest drinks and the finest cigars and the finest cars.
He's so great in that role.
He's scary. He's a scary guy. We are talking to actress Jennifer Beals about the Chicago Code. It debuts tonight at 9 o'clock on the Fox channel. Kevin, I believe we've got a clip. What are we going to hear here?
We do. This is you and Jarek Wysocki. Is that his name, Jason Clarke?
Yep.
And you had just had a meeting with him, and you're both trying to bring him down because he's an evil bastard. And
there you go.
You're in charge as the superintendent, and this guy, Wysocki, just did something you didn't like.
You don't like the way I do things, why ask for my help?
Please tell me we know more than what you just told Gibbons.
The dead woman was getting ready to whistleblow on the bosses at Fergus Construction. They're cooking the books, underbidding, bribes to downtown.
And you can tie this directly to Gibbons.
No.
I am trying to get you gangs to lay down their guns before midnight. I am taking on the police union and 100 pissed off, recently demoted armed cops. Do not force me into hand-to-hand combat with the second most powerful man in Chicago after the mayor until you know something.
Way more powerful than the mayor. And if you want to take on corruption, this is how it's done.
Chicago Code is getting tremendous early reviews. I got one last question for you, Jennifer. That is, it's a lot of fun to shoot in your hometown in the summertime, but have you had to shoot any episodes during the blizzard of the past few months there?
No, but we had to shoot a scene that was supposed to take place in late summer, and it started to snow.
Oh, good.
And that became really interesting. As you're sucking on ice cubes to try to make it so your breath doesn't show.
Wow. Tonight at 9.
Yeah.
On Fox. Jennifer, great to talk to you. Good luck with the show. Congratulations.
So
Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
Thank you. It's very good. It's the Chicago Code tonight at 9 on Fox.